It's America Continues with Jim Sharpe on USA Radio Networks. And coming up, was ISIS really behind the Garland shooting, or are they just trying to take credit for what was a bad job, really? Here is the mayor of Garland, Texas, talking about the possibility that ISIS really had something directly to do with the Garland shooting on Sunday night. He's a little skeptical there.
Well, I think it would be very easy for them to take claim and still have nothing to do with it.
Yeah, that's pretty much the case right there. He said he isn't ready to give ISIS any credit yet. Not that they want to take it.
I have no way of knowing. Certainly, I don't know of any evidence that links them to actually having had a part in this.
You know, interestingly, I find this interesting because Garland is not a small town. It's not a small town. It's a suburb of Dallas, Texas. It's a good-sized city. I don't know off the top of my head how big it is. I'm imagining it's at least a couple 100,000 people, maybe a little bigger. I used to live right next to Garland years ago, and it's so like it is. Like I said, you can't tell the difference unless you look at the signs. You can't tell the difference when you leave Dallas and you go into Garland. That's just kind of how it is. So, he's not a small town mayor, but why in the world would some reporter go up, hey, mayor, what do you think? ISIS behind this? Like he's got access to the CIA and the NSA, and he just picks up the phone and makes a couple of calls. Hey, Obama, dude, Barack or Barry, as I call you. Hey, Barry, can you fill me in here? And I do find this interesting how reporters act sometimes. But that is the question: whether or not ISIS was behind the weekend attack at the near Dallas, where they were having a cartoon contest to see who could draw the best Prophet Muhammad. By the way, they did go on to actually pick a winner in that contest, by the way.
Really? Who was it?
Undaunted by people shooting and possibility of things blowing up and all that. Let me get the guy's name here. I believe the guy's name is Bosch Foston. Bosch Foston. Wow, what an unusual name. That person.
You weren't kidding? Someone really won?
Yeah, somebody really won. Here's the person's talking. This Bosch Foston here. He's talking to Greta Van Susteren.
They show a picture
last night. I don't know. I don't think I've seen the actual picture.
You were actually inside the contest at the time the shooting went down?
Yes, I was.
All right. Tell me what you knew. Tell me what you knew about what's going on.
I didn't know much. I knew that one of the SWAT team members went up to the podium and told us that there were shots fired, and they took us all into a separate area of the building.
Why were you there? Just to compete in this cartoon contest?
Yes, I've been drawing Muhammad for years, and I heard about the contest, and I just took it upon myself to take part in it. I think it's an important thing. It's about the freedom of speech.
Yeah. I don't know if I didn't get a chance to watch Greta last night, so I don't know if they actually showed, if he actually describes the picture. I drew what could possibly be Muhammad earlier today. I did a little video that'll be on my website a little later on, sharpeonpoint.com, in case you care to stop by for a visit. The video's not up yet, though, by the way. It's still a work in progress, much like this picture that I did. I drew a picture. It's it's kind of a smiley face, although there is more detail here. A little hair, put some ears and a nose on there, which you don't see with your typical smiley face. Also, he's got the hopeful eyebrows going, where they're kind of pitched upward, so it's like he looks like he's
Muhammad does, or this guy's picture.
This guy's picture. I don't know who. Okay. I don't know who this is. It's just a stick figure with a big giant head. And
I see.
I have a question about all this. My question is simply this: if Muhammad said from the start, "Don't draw me," and I think, the intentions behind that are good. Don't draw me because somebody may idolize me. Somebody may actually end up worshiping me if they see a picture of me because of this awesome religion I started. Don't draw me because I don't want people worshiping me. They're supposed to be worshiping God, Allah, right? That sounds like a good thing, right? But if nobody ever drew him when he was around because of that, then how do we know what he looks like, and how do we know that any picture of any human being ever drawn is not Muhammad and shouldn't incite violence?
I don't know if that drawing's fair or just the color of the paper. But I would think that Muhammad would be black. No,
Probably, he definitely would be a darker color than this.
because Jesus is black, right?
In this white paper that, well, we don't know what color exactly Jesus was.
I learned that in college.
Yeah, he certainly didn't look like what the picture hanging in the church I went to when I was a little kid. You know, he really looks. He looks like he looks Anglo-Saxon. We know Jesus was not Anglo-Saxon. We know that. Definitely not a WASP either. He was not not white Anglo-Saxon Protestant. That's for sure. A lot of people may think that Jesus taught Protestant, but he wasn't technically a Protestant. So, so as you look at these two suspects in Sunday's attack, and by the way, I saw this story come over this morning on Twitter that ISIS was claiming responsibility for the shooting in Garland, and my first thought was, holy mackerel, you know what? If that's the case, you know what? You guys go right ahead and take credit because it failed miserably. One security officer was injured. He was injured, but slightly enough that it was he was released from the hospital like same day. Like he didn't have to like even reconstruct his ankle, and a traffic cop with a handgun took out these guys. So ISIS, if you want to take credit for this thing, go right ahead because it failed miserably. And a friend of mine by the name of John Michaels retweeted me, and then he responded, and he says, "Does their threat mean that the next time 8 ISIS members will be shot by police? I don't have a problem with that." And then, of course, Donald Trump. Thank you, Donald, for stopping by. What would you do if a large group of Muslims had a very public meeting drawing horrible and mocking cartoons of Jesus? Oh, really? Be cool. What does that even mean?
It means that one of his staff writers from one of his stupid shows probably is tweeting for him, like Larry King's guy, you know?
So I did an open letter to Donald Trump. I love that Twitter makes it possible to just do it. Dear Donald, nothing. Love, Jim. That's what I would do. If, I'm not going to do anything. Other people responded with, pray for them. Because nobody, when they even stuck a crucifix in a jar of urine, paid for, by the way, by the National Endowment for the Arts, nobody went and killed anybody over that thing.
I think people pay taxes on it, actually,
well,
right?
Not only do people pay taxes to create the thing, people paid admission to go see that stuff. All right, so where do we go from here? And what can be done about ISIS? And is ISIS really behind this? I think it's plus these guys were my neighbors. They were my neighbors. I got a problem with that. I'm Jim Sharpe. You're listening to America Continues on USA Radio Networks.